Let's get a good stretch.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 24 of Nintendo Unleashed. I haven't been on here in a while, but I'm here today with myself, as well as Connor.
Hi.
Say hi. And Jackson, who's not been on before. Say hi, Jackson.
Hi.
We've got quite a bit of news to talk about today. Some Pokemon news, some amiibo news, the return of a fan-favorite series on DSiWare, as well. We'll talk about the unfortunate news of Mr. Iwata's passing. But, as usual, we're going to start off with what we've been playing this week. Connor, you want to start?
I haven't played that much this week, actually. Played J-Stars, and I think that's about it. Oh, and Love Live, but...
Got it.
Yeah.
Jackson?
Well, like him, I haven't played too much this week. I've just been playing Zelda Majora's Mask 3D.
Awesome. I got back from the beach a couple of days ago, so like these guys, my 3DS not working, I couldn't really play while I was there, but yesterday, I was at my friend's house and I got to, they have a Sega Genesis, so I got to play some old school stuff. I played the original Mortal Kombat as well as Sonic 1 and Family Feud, which was great. That's a pretty terrible version of the game, but it's just something you got to play to see how bad it is, So that was enjoyable in its own way. And I've been catching up on some of the new Splatoon stuff as well, new maps, weapons, etc. So I guess let's talk about what's coming out this week on the eShop. And like I said, the return of a fan favorite. First off, on the Wii eShop, Tiny Galaxy, which is something I've been seeing going around for a while. It's like an indie title. Sort of looks like a 2D Mario Galaxy-ish because it has the sort of planets. You can jump from planet to planet. It has basic obstacles. So it looks pretty simple, but if you really like planets and jumping to and from them, check that out. On the Wii Virtual Console's Blaster Master, which I think is a sort of pretty iconic NES game where you sort of control this little dude in a tank and you shoot stuff. That's $5 from Sunsoft. And now getting into the good stuff on the 3DS eShop. I am an air traffic controller airport hero Narita for $20.
Probably worth it.
Yeah, I guess you control air traffic and have a really long title and probably poor translated gameplay.
Oh, and since you're air traffic control, I think the title's actually representing the length of your shift.
Yeah.
Don't they work like super long shifts?
Yeah, so you're going to get a lot of play time from that one. I guess that's what it's implying. Also on the 3DS eShop, I Love My Dogs.
Woohoo!
By Big Ben Interactive, which is notorious for putting out a bunch of crappy games about animals. Probably shouldn't buy that one. And as I mentioned twice now on DSiWare, two great new titles. GG Series Vector, which is not the best name in the world, but one with a better name. GG Series Score Attacker. So you're going to attack the score. Apparently it's a top-down shooter, just like GG Series Wonderland. And I've been reading up on some of Nintendo Life's excellent reviews of GG Series, and some of the games are actually decent, including the Wonderland one.
Oh.
Yeah, so it turns out these games truly do have some value. So, if you're looking to enjoy yourself, check out the GG Series.
I'd probably look up which ones have value, not just pick random, though.
Yeah, because you'll probably get a bad egg every once in a while. But let's talk about Splatoon a little bit. There's a bunch of new stuff coming to the game, the night we're recording this. Mm-hmm. Two new weapons, the NZEP 89, which is, I guess, a modified version of the 85. Do you guys think it's going to have different stats or just different sub-weapons? What do you guys think?
I think probably just different sub-weapons.
Yeah, it seems like usually when weapons are so similar, or similar looking and similar named, it's usually not a cosmetic difference as well as like a change in whatever the super is. In addition to the Octo Brush, which looks like a slightly wider ink brush, so I'm guessing maybe it moves slightly slower. Again, we don't know, but that looks like something that'll be cool to check out. As always, I'm just really happy with everything they're bringing to the table so quickly. When the game first came out, I sort of predicted we would get new content every 2 weeks, but it's been more frequent than that, right?
Yeah, I think it's about once a week.
Yeah, and we usually get 2 guns at once or something like that, which is cool,
Or a gun in a map or something.
Mm-hmm. And even if it's not for everyone, it's good to have options. One of my actually recent favorites, which I didn't expect at all, the Carbon Roller. Because I'm not a big fan of rollers, but that thing, you go like almost as fast as the ink brush. You move really quickly. It's not a one-hit kill, but it's a fun weapon. Also tonight in Splatoon, Splatfest begins at midnight Eastern, which I guess is 8 o'clock.
9.
9 Pacific. So check that out. It's Team Roller Coasters versus Water Slide. And you guys talked about that last week. I'm a Water Slides guy. Or no, well, no, God, online. No, you guys have convinced me. No, I'm a roller coaster. I'm very anti. Well, not anti water slides. I like water slides. I'm anti team water slides because it's the worst team.
No, it's not.
I don't know. It seems like in terms of popularity, I've been seeing a lot more water slides. So we'll see how it goes. But in less positive non-Splatoon news, man, the Devil's Third has been getting some, I guess. Some people in the Europe are getting preview copies of it or preview builds, and the impressions are far from positive. Some people saying...
it's the final copy.
It's the final copy. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I guess a lot of overwhelmingly terrible early impressions. Some people saying it's possibly one of the worst games Nintendo's ever published, which doesn't sound good. Apparently, it just feels really underdeveloped and uninspired, and the controls are stiff, and the gameplay is just generic. Can't say I didn't see that coming, seeing as Nintendo America has been really shady about how they're working on bringing this game to the States, if they are at all,
They
It's
tweeted last week
a few days ago,
that they had news relating to it, but it could still be Xseed or someone's
right, yeah, because
dealing with
they didn't say publishing it, but they said we're excited for this game to come to North America or something.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know how they're going to give that news. I doubt it'll get a direct spotlight, part of me. It sounds like that's going to be one of those games, though. Not like Sonic Boom level of bad, but a level of so bad it's good. And so in a way, I'm thinking, if this game ever gets discounted, might have to pick it up just to experience the animosity.
I don't know, to me it just seems it's bad because it's generic and boring, not it's bad because there's glitches. And...
I mean, I've also seen cases of just AI being dumb and random explosions, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. It doesn't... What's that?
Did you see the devs' reactions on Facebook?
Yeah, and it seems like they're being really defensive. They're like, no, you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, he said, don't play with the gamepad.
Yeah, play with a Pro Controller and a USB keyboard for some reason. I guess he meant for the multiplayer, which they can't play yet, it seems like.
Yeah.
So, bit of a train wreck. I guess we'll see how that goes once the reviews.
This definitely seems like a game that will be in the $5 bin at Walmart.
The bargain bin, absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, onto a little bit of Animal Crossing news. Little tidbit, in Japan, when you preload Happy Home Designer, which it comes out very soon in Japan, you get a free theme, which is nice. And also, I haven't read up on this too much, but there's something that hinting at the fact that Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival on Wii U might have some sort of online play. Connor, what was the how were people gathering that? Was there something on the eShop?
There was what is this called? Like when GameStop has a like
a page, like an online page about a game.
No, the like in store they have like a box that's just a placeholder.
Oh, got it.
But they give like a description. The back of the box mentions something like play. I think it's play with your friends all over the world or something.
Hopefully that is actual online multiplayer.
That would definitely be really awesome.
That game needs something in its current state with all the backlash, Part of me feels like it's going to be something shoehorned in, like, share your villager houses or something, but hopefully it's true online multiplayer where you can play the board game with your friends. Still probably, are we entirely sure yet how it's going to be made available? Because there were, retail listings, but also somebody saying that the game would be free to download.
Amiibo Festival?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's free to download. From what I can tell, though, the only way to buy it physically is with the Amiibo bundle.
Right.
But I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, if it's free digital.
Got it. Yeah, that is a game I'm not really looking forward to. I mean, it's cool. I love the Animal Crossing Amiibo. like the figures, and
Okay.
right, and the Isabel figure, even though KK looks like naked because of his guitars not in front of him. Still not over that. I really like the figures, and I figure if the game is free to download, might as well if I'm getting the figures anyway. But
Mm. Yeah, if it's free, and I'm probably gonna get the KK figure anyway. Then.
yeah, and we can play online and have Nintendo Unleashed plays. That'll be our first game. Spoilers. But anyway, moving on to some amiibo stuff, we discovered that the Palutena amiibo is going to be Amazon exclusive, and Dark Pit at Best Buy, except not in Canada, it looks like.
Yeah.
And another thing about Dark Pit, according to like a store information listing, it looks like each Best Buy in the US might have somewhere around 100 Dark Pits, which would be outstanding. I think they had a similar number of Greninjas, right?
Yeah,
Maybe even
something
more.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, Arms' Toys R Us had 80, I think.
Yeah. So that seems like a good sign. Hopefully I'll be able to get one. And are they not doing pre-orders, or is it Amazon that's not doing them? I forget.
that.
Best,
Amazon's not dark orders.
neither are doing pre-orders. Best Buy,
Okay.
it's in-store only. as
Okay,
well.
got it.
There's no online Dark Pits. At least in the U.S. I think Canada has them online, but
But it's also not exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, that's technically not confirmed yet because no other stores have him listed, but Palutena on Amazon.ca says Amazon exclusive, while Dark Pit doesn't, or only says that on BestBuy.com, not BestBuy.ca. So, I think it's pretty likely he's not going to be here for some reason.
Mm.
Well, exclusive here, I mean.
But anyway, that's definitely good news. I was able to get Greninja on day one without even pre-ordering, so
Same.
this large number is just makes it all the better.
Yeah, Nintendo's making good on their promise to bring more to the States.
Definitely, yes. It seems like they're slowly but surely increasing the amount that's getting in stores, which is,
Yeah, I
is
feel
good.
like most of the unicorns have gotten restocked, like Rosalina and all the
Yeah,
really rare ones.
Rosalina,
Right.
we couldn't even give how long she was restocked because we recorded last week while she was still up. I think that ended up being like 8 or 9 hours or something.
Wow, which
Yeah, it was
is
crazy.
a lot
until
more than
she
usual.
went out of stock.
It used to be like 2 minutes.
And Jigglypuff has been restocked today.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
changes happening.
But with the Palutena amiibo, they also said that they're thinking it's going to sell out in about 15 minutes
Mm.
because it's
It's-
only online and they're not doing pre-orders. So
And they haven't said what time that's going to be at yet, right?
yeah, but they said they will announce it.
Got
They
it.
haven't said what time yet, but they will announce it beforehand.
15 minutes. I mean, seeing as it's online, that seems like they'll have quite a few. Because it seems like when it's online only, it's usually like a couple minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to have a few. I mean, it's exclusive to them. They said
Right.
this is the most amiibo they've ever had of one
Awesome.
amiibo.
That's good. Hopefully I'll be able to get one. You guys too, or if you're planning on it.
I'm not.
Sometime.
My brother
Um,
already imported one, so I
Gotcha.
don't even need to.
And our last bit of news before the break is our winner of our Toad Amiibo giveaway. We're happy to announce that it's at Smoke, Colin. Still not entirely sure how to pronounce your username, man. But Colin, we're going to get in touch with you, whether it's via DM, tweet at us, or tweet at BlazeKick.
And,
Connor, you think that's the best way for him to reach us?
Yeah, just message BlazeKick on Twitter. According to ARMS, you have 4 days.
Yep.
If you don't, then we'll pick someone else. I don't know if we'll announce it next week in Nintendo Unleashed. That kind of seems to be dragging it if we do it that way. But
Mhm.
yeah, I guess 4 days. So that from when the video goes up, I think it's gonna go up the 18th. So you have till the 21st.
Sweet. So you've got quite a bit of time. Be quick, though.
And ARMS also wanted me to say there will be another giveaway through Nintendo Unleashed for another amiibo in the future.
Mm-hmm. Stay
Near
tuned.
future.
Ooh. Could happen at any time. You never know.
Well, next episode's the earliest, but yeah.
True. Anyway, we'll be right back. Enjoy the dank music. Hey guys, do you know what could have possibly come on the 3DS? Seaman!
Yay!
Sadly, it was canned. In an interview with Yu Saito, he said that there were initially plans to bring the game to 3DS, which I think we actually heard about a while ago, a few years ago.
Yeah, it was
There was
a rumor.
something. Oh, that was a rumor. Okay, a while back there was some word of it, but it got canned. I think that game was originally on the Dreamcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Or no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and it's weird. There's like a fish with a face, and you talk with him.
And he was Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. It's a very bizarre game. I guess it would work on the 3DS having a microphone, but never happened.
And camera.
Yeah, of course. Fingers crossed for Seaman Wii U. You know?
With Sega in their current state, I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, but we can dream.
Unless Nintendo feels like funding it, which I don't think Seaman would really be worth it.
Yeah, I don't know about the sales on that one. We've got a bunch of Pokemon news, which these two are pretty well versed on. I'm not, so I'll let these two take it away for now.
So, Korokoro released its monthly stuff, and this one gave a preview of the 2017, 16 or 17, I think 16 actually.
Yeah, 2016.
Pokemon movie. And there was a silhouette for some sort of Pokemon we've never seen before, or at least doesn't look familiar. The two most common things I've seen are it's a new Zygarde, either Form or Mega Evolution, to go along with a Pokemon Z/Z release next year, or it's a brand new Gen 7 Pokemon, which I think it's a little early for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little early to be Gen 7, and if it is a new Zygarde form, that'd be pretty cool. I've been waiting on them to see if they'll confirm Pokemon Z or not, but I guess if that is Zygarde, then it kind of would.
Even if it's not Z, it could be like X2 and Y2 like Gen 5 did, or...
Yeah, I wouldn't want that, though. I'd rather have a Z,
Yeah.
just because, like the old days.
Or they
Two
could
and
like
then one.
figure out even something else different to do. I don't know what else.
Yeah, that could just be a new game in the same generation. Who knows?
Yeah.
Never know. It could be downloadable content for Pokemon. Who knows?
Whoa.
Could be anything.
Whoa. The guys who wouldn't even update X and Y to have the new Mega Stones from ORES? Wow. Then, more news is Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon got a release date in Japan of September 17th, and along with that, got some new details. The previous Mystery Dungeon games had discussion boards, but I guess those are gone now and replaced with connection orbs. Not sure what those are. When you make friends with Pokemon, you can do requests for them that includes legendary Pokemon, and every request you do, you'll receive more tasks, so I guess it's like an infinite task thing, which is useful for training, I guess. There's a new item called the Magic Lamp, which summons the mystic Pokemon Hoopa into the dungeon. Its form, either the, I can't remember what the normal form's called, or the unbound form, are randomly chosen. And if you talk to it, it will randomly summon another legendary Pokemon, and that Pokemon will randomly either fight you or partner with you. So, I guess it's a risk-reward thing if you talk to Hoopa. If you don't talk to Hoopa, you can just use him as an ally to help fight, but I don't know how powerful he is. And there's some story details. You're in a school instead of a guild, or maybe the school is a guild, I don't know. But Pancham and Shelmet are bullies. They pick on Goomy. Deerling is popular. Esper is intelligent. Simipour is the principal. And Farfetch'd is a serious teacher. Watchog's vice principal. And Audino's doctor. I don't think schools normally have doctors. Probably should have been a nurse.
Yeah,
well,
more like
we
a
have
nurse.
a school nurse.
Yeah, probably a little mistranslation.
Probably.
Something like that. This is some really weird news. I mean, it's a school
Yeah.
instead of a guild. Maybe it's a school training them to be explorers or something. Who knows? Or maybe it's just a regular school. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's just a regular school, it seems kind of weird that you're like gonna go dig through dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, because who lets kids in school do that?
Unless like the first dungeon you explore is supposed to be a field trip or something, and then you get
Yeah.
recruited by a guild.
Maybe. Or maybe you get lost and have
Yeah.
to explore the dungeon. Who knows? They're really pushing this Hoopa thing, though. I mean, with it getting its own movie and then now going to be in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
That's something. And
Hoopa
also,
for
why does
Smash.
Japan get it in 2 months and we don't get it until January? What the crap?
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to Nintendo, working on those worldwide releases, with X and Y being sort of the first, and then just going right back to these big gaps. But
Well, the Mystery Dungeon never really had that,
yeah,
but yeah, it's still weird. I don't know, especially for games like Yoshi's Woolly World or Codename Steam. I think Kirby and the Rainbow Curse had a huge gap too.
yeah, and it's weird with those games like Kirby and Yo because they don't have much text.
Yeah, that's why I was saying those specifically.
yeah.
Like, Triple Deluxe, I think, was delayed too.
Mm.
And some
I guess it's for I'm sure they have a plan for what releases are going to come out in what order, but it's still kind of weird.
yeah, some people have said Yoshi Woolly World was probably delayed. One, because amiibo are more popular here and they wanted to produce more, which I don't know. And two, because Nintendo of America has stated multiple times games don't sell as well in the summer. So, but I don't know. I don't see why. Even if
I mean, it also gives them a chance that they can see if there's anything wrong with the games while they're in Japan, and then they can fix it before they bring it to the States.
Right.
yeah, it's useful
So.
if they actually do that. I don't know if they do.
I mean, I know there was one game, and this is just because I recently heard it, but it was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga or whatever for the Game Boy. It was actually released in America before it was released in other places, and there was a part in it that people got confused about, and then it was fixed for the other versions.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And
So, I mean-
I think Smash 3DS had something that was fixed before here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a few weeks before release, I think.
Yeah, I think
mean,
there was some glitch that was fixed.
It definitely means as soon as it's released here, we can get bug fixes and stuff, so maybe we won't have as much problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good and bad thing. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta wait, but it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if the game's good, we'll see.
Yeah.
could turn out
hopefully
to be Devil's Third.
Or Gates to Infinity.
I actually didn't play Gates to Infinity, so
Apparently, it's pretty bad, especially
you
according
weren't
to
missing that
Tyler.
much.
really, dang. I'm glad I didn't play it then.
Yeah.
But going back to, well, I guess we kind of did go back to Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
In Pokken Fighters.
Pokken Fighters released in Japan yesterday, I think. And with it, Famitsu, I don't know why not just the Nico Nico stream that happened, but Famitsu revealed that in August, the arcade cabinets would be updated to include Blaziken.
Yay!
Which, I mean, we knew that was coming because
Yeah.
Blaziken was announced.
He was in the original teaser screen.
Right.
Yeah.
which
Kind
we
of
saw
weird that
a
he's not
while
in it
ago.
at launch, but plus he's a pretty popular fighting Pokemon,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Now the real question is when are they going to bring the game to the U.S.
Hopefully someday.
or the
I'd
North America?
say shortly after a console release.
Maybe for the NX.
Yeah, either Wii or that could actually make a decent launch title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
If
would
they-
be.
I never
great
thought
for
about
some-
that. Yeah.
If they do that in Japan, because if they are already porting it to the Wii U, then
Then
that's not gonna be an NX here. I mean, it might. J-Stars is PS3 and then PS4 here, but you never know.
I mean, I don't think Nintendo's done many of those where it's for both. I mean, they did it with Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but that's
the
about it.
GameCube and Wii, but that's the only thing I can think of. And Pikmin, but
But then this could also be Namco's choice. We don't know how much Nintendo's even dealing
Has
with it.
involved.
They might have just given the rights to
it's true.
Pokken and just said can't put it on Sony or Microsoft consoles, but other than that, do whatever you want with it.
It comes to Steam.
Might I don't know.
Anyway, our next bit of news is a very unfortunate one, and that's the news that on July 11th, President of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, unfortunately passed away due to a bile duct growth. And this is still hard to believe, at least for me. The way the news broke to me, Connor actually messaged in the Nintendo Unleashed chat, an article, and usually, things like that go around to create drama. Like this person's dead. I've seen,
Yeah.
if you Google like Shigeru Miyamoto, it's like dies in car crash. And like I was like,
really.
yeah, and I thought this has to be fake, but it was not fake, which is just incredibly bizarre. Seeing as how actively public he's been kind of recently in all the directs and everything. He was just a puppet in E3. Live on as a puppet, I guess.
Yeah.
And they said they have future plans for the puppets.
And are they going to use the Iwata puppet? Like, would it be disrespectful to? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It depends on what they do with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, if they just made it out to be like he's not gone, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it'd probably be disrespectful. But I think it was Game Explain that said it seems so fitting that Iwata's last public appearance was as a Muppet.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
perfect.
not many people get to be Muppets. That's
No.
for sure. But again, his loss was very unfortunate. He did some great things for Nintendo, made some great titles, which I actually revisited. He was working. I think Balloon Fight was pretty much his child.
Mm-hmm.
I think he worked on the game for the most part by himself, as far as I'm aware. He also played a big involvement in the programming of Earthbound. He helped a lot on Pokemon Gold and Silver, squeezing 2 regions into one game.
Yeah.
Pokemon Stadium was a game he was able to port very quickly. Just he was like a programming wizard, and it's terrible that we've lost him after his his excellent leadership. He's done so many great things for the company. And reading all the stories that have come up, he seems just like a great person. Like everyone's talking about how humble and kind and generous he is, and just not full of himself at all. Just being very down to earth, despite being a president of this huge company.
Well, the thing is, Iwata's different from most presidents. I mean, he started as a programmer.
Absolutely.
He worked his way up.
Yeah.
He earned that position, and he knew the struggles, so he was never like that.
Yeah, like whereas a lot of CEOs of gaming companies might not even be that familiar with games. Like Iwata was familiar with games inside and out. Even if he hasn't had as many opportunities to work on them recently, that doesn't mean he's not been incredibly involved in the past. Our hope is that just Nintendo will be able to remember his legacy and continue his vision to help Nintendo just thrive in the future and just keep Iwata's morals and messages, held tight. And hopefully whoever succeeds him will be able to do that as well.
Definitely.
I think his temporary successors include 2 people who were like the co-presidents, Shigeru Miyamoto and somebody's name who I do not recall, but I can pull up. Shigeru Miyamoto as well as Janyo Takeda, who I'm not familiar with, but I believe they're just...
design the Wii.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, but I believe they're just temporary, not positive. Hopefully they can find a fitting leader.
As far as I know, both of them have actually expressed I can't think of the word, but not wanting to be the president. Like Miyamoto's already like starting to sort of back off, like he's doing less than he was before. And he said he wants to sort of slow down on Nintendo, give the newer people a chance to start like developing their skills.
I just applaud him for that, not wanting to sort of hog the glory, if that makes sense. Him sort of wanting to pass his knowledge on because his knowledge is undeniable. And we've seen some of that passed on in Splatoon and some other newer games as well. But it's going to be tough to fill his shoes, but I'm sure Nintendo can find somebody to do it.
I've seen a lot of people say the Animal Crossing creator would be good.
And yeah, it has to be somebody who I think, in addition to leadership skills, hopefully has some of that, development skill, as Iwata did. I feel personally like that would best fill his shoes,
Yeah, I hope it's someone that was an employee of either Nintendo or a second party that works closely,
Studio that
like
works...
Monolith or someone.
Right, so not somebody who's new from the outside, just...
not like... not Peter Moore.
Yeah, just a random
What's his
giant
name? The Xbox,
executive.
The guy that was Xbox and then left for Zynga, and then
whatever his name is.
Zynga died.
Yeah, imagine the reactions if he became president.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
Hopefully it's somebody who was close to Iwata so that they can keep good on that promise to honor his legacy and all that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But our wishes are with Nintendo and Iwata's family and everybody affected by this. I know a lot of people were. Social media on that day and that week was just incredibly depressing, but rightfully so.
I mean, even PlayStation tweeted.
Oh yeah,
message.
PlayStation as well as a large Xbox executive. I forget
Phil Spencer, the
right.
CEO of Xbox,
and all sorts of companies.
Yoshida, CEO of PlayStation.
Yeah, EA, Treyarch, and just all these companies were honoring Iwata's legacy, and rightfully so. He's just had a huge impact on the industry in so many ways.
Most of these companies, Xbox and PlayStation, if it wasn't for Nintendo and then Iwata, most of these games and systems wouldn't have come to be anyway. So they obviously honored it.
We talked a couple weeks ago about the Nintendo PlayStation when the prototype for that was finally shown. Xbox probably wouldn't have entered if PlayStation and Nintendo weren't already fighting.
Right.
The devs here have probably at some point played Gold and Silver or a Kirby game, Smash Bros. Because all of those Iwata helped in some way. So even if you don't play Nintendo games, your gaming life's probably been shaped by Iwata somehow.
In some way, because he's just made so many decisions and contributions. You're right. And an interesting thing that Reggie Fils-Aimé said in the sort of statement was that, we've yet to see all that Iwata has to offer because quality of life, NX, mobile games, his spirit and his vision will live on in those projects, which is a very interesting thing to think about. He's not truly gone. He's definitely still here and will still be here in spirit when that time rolls around. So, while this is an upsetting topic, it's good to just, I think, reflect back and think positive about all the great things he's done for the company.
Yeah. It's also good to see all these fans come together to honor this man's life.
Yeah, because
they had a big thing at the Nintendo World Store in New York where people
where you could leave, memorials to write things down. Yeah. And also outside of Nintendo's headquarters, people have been leaving all sorts of great gifts. And
somebody left a Silver Mario there.
Yeah, so actually a Silver Mario amiibo that's holding bananas to sort of replicate Iwata's, famous little banana pose thing. That'll live on.
And a ton of people attended his funeral.
Yeah, I think it was 3,000.
Today, I think?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was...
I think it was the 8th or 17th Japan time, but yesterday here.
Anyway, thank you, Iwata. I think that's all there is to say. And moving on to another topic, which is going to be our final topic before questions. I guess a sort of small debate topic, based on a Reddit post, is that will the new 3DS end up like the DSi or Game Boy Color? So sort of as maybe something that doesn't have a very long lifespan, it acts as like a placeholder maybe between two generations, if that's what that's saying.
Yeah, I think basically what it means is like the DSi was an upgraded DS that had some exclusives, but Nintendo still focused on the DS, or the Game Boy Color, which was meant as just an upgraded Game Boy, but ended up replacing it.
Right. So my initial thoughts, definitely going to go down the DSi path, but a bit more, like, having a bit more impact, and that I think it'll have more meaningful exclusives, and that's for a couple reasons.
GG series.
GG, oh yeah, of course. So first of all, I don't think the DSi was any more powerful, right?
It was, but most of its power was relegated to the camera.
The camera, right? Okay.
I think the games could use a tiny bit of it, but
nothing substantial.
Not enough to really make a difference.
Like an exclusive game, like for that reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel that the 3DS, first of all, due to extended power, we'll get some more exclusives. Obviously, the only one we've seen so far come out is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. But actually, next week, the second one is Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is also coming to Wii U the same week. And those are two very substantial games, unlike a lot of the DSi exclusives. There were only a few retail exclusives for DSi, and as far as I'm aware, none of them were outstanding.
I actually didn't even know there was any exclusives for DSi.
Yeah, apparently there were.
There were 5 in total. 3 never left Japan, and I think 1 was only in Europe.
Got it.
Or
Wow,
one Europe and Japan, not here.
Mm-hmm.
that's insane because I never bought a DSi. It's the only one I skipped over. I had the original, had the DS Lite, but then I realized DSi I couldn't play Game Boy games, and I was like,
Yeah, so kind of a step down in some
it's
ways.
just a waste.
So I feel like, anyway, in addition to the upgraded power... but first, on the DS, I feel like the most significant thing about the DSi in terms of exclusive was definitely DSiWare.
Yeah.
That brought us things like Shantae Risky's Revenge and Cave Story, games that have made their way to other platforms, but for the most part, well, Cave Story didn't start there, but Shantae's Risky Revenge did, which is a great game.
GG series.
Of course, who could forget? So DSiWare was more about quantity. I feel like there aren't too many outstanding games in there. There are some. But the other thing, I feel like with the new 3DS, the Unity, I think, coming very soon, will help allow some more exclusives, most likely downloadable ones. So I feel like, in a way, the 3DS, or the new 3DS, will slightly outlive what the DSi did, because not only is it more powerful, but it'll have more meaningful exclusives, and it's not a step backwards in any way. Whereas the DSi was due to the loss of Game Boy support, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's going to flat out replace the 3DS anytime soon.
Yeah, my opinion is either going to fall in the middle or it's going to go more the Game Boy Color route because, I mean, it does have more upgrades like the power, also better 3D, which is a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of hardware-based things, too.
Yeah, and also the C-Stick, which is a huge thing. I have friends who have it, and they love it. I mean, the C-Stick makes it so much easier to play games.
Absolutely.
So I definitely think it'll, depending on how many more exclusives and what exclusives they release for it, then that'll depend on if it does replace the 3DS or not.
Mm-hmm. My current... Oh, sorry, Connor, go on.
I think I'm kind of the opposite. I think it's either going to go middle or lean towards DSi, just because in the Game Boy Color era, Nintendo seemed more willing to risk game stuff, whereas now they don't seem willing to, like, put Pokemon exclusive to the new 3DS.
Right, or Zelda or something like that.
Yeah, because there are people like me that are pretty sure Nintendo's next handheld is going to be backwards compatible with new 3DS.
Right.
So
And if it wasn't for power, that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's not, that sucks. But if it is, and there's like Zelda Triforce Heroes 2 or something,
well, yeah,
exclusive, and I happen to want that, then I just wait. If not, then I might get a new 3DS once they're like cheap used.
Mm-hmm.
So Nintendo doesn't, unless Nintendo like pretty much gives up on the original 3DS and just only makes new 3DS stuff.
Then I don't see it fading. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna become like the Game Boy Color, because that's kind of what they did. They still released original Game Boy games, but it wasn't as frequent, and most of them had like upgraded stuff on the Game Boy Color, like they were playable in color, or they loaded faster. Like Smash, Monster Hunter, Majora's Mask, and Ace Combat, I think, and Codename Steam are the only games currently that actually have an advantage on new 3DS besides the better 3D.
And they said in an interview that Federation Force will.
Oh yeah, and that SC stick.
Yeah, and it was because that game was actually originally meant to launch alongside the new 3DS, but that didn't happen, of course.
But then it got delayed.
But there's like the C stick. Most games that use that, you can use Circle Pad for the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The amiibo, you can get the amiibo dongle thingy.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just making add-ons.
And it's for convenience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it may go more DSi route because also amiibo support. If they weren't going to release the NFC reader, then I'd say it's more going to Game Boy. Yeah. But since they are, that's basically saying that they don't believe that enough people will buy it.
Right.
And they want people to continue to buy these amiibos, so they're going to make it compatible with the 3DS.
Yeah, they're kind of taking away that advantage in a way.
And like now there's major games like Fire Emblem If that the only draw to it on new 3DS would have been the amiibo, but now that's not even really a draw because you can do that on a normal 3DS.
You know,
Yeah, I feel
I
like
I am glad that they're letting more people experience Amiibo, but at the same time, that is kind of taking away from the value of the new 3DS.
Mhm.
if they hadn't released it though, then I would definitely say that they're going to replace it because so many people are into amiibos and
Yeah.
would
Mhm.
love to use them in these 3DS games. But now they're kind of digging themselves a hole because if nobody's going to drop $200 on a new system to just have a little bit of upgraded power and
Mhm.
a couple exclusive games, it's just not going to happen. Like with
Yeah.
the Game Boy Color, it was a huge leap. I mean, color was such a big deal in the 90s for a handheld console.
Especially, yeah, when it was like compared to the black and white, it was a big difference. You're right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
huge. And I just don't. I know I'm contradicting what I said earlier, but now I don't think it's a big enough thing to replace it.
Yeah, the 3D improved 3D and the power is cool, but I don't think it's as cool as color.
Yeah, it's nothing that's gonna make you run out and buy it immediately.
Plus, it doesn't come with a charger, so
Oh, that too.
So you can't even trade yours in. You have to keep
Yeah.
the charger.
I mean, they also dig themselves a hole there. I mean, if somebody's buying this is their first like 3DS or something, well then how are they supposed to charge it?
You can
Yeah,
buy
and
the
then-
charger separate, but that's extra
You can
money.
buy chargers separate.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's
they
extra
might
money and
not know that when they're buying it, so they might have to go back to the store, and that's no fun.
And they'll probably when they go back to the store just take the 3DS back too.
Yeah. My current frustration, I forget if I've spoken about this on the podcast,
You
but
have.
like the SD card, on the small new 3DS, is the SD card in the back like that, or is it on the
Yes.
side? It's in the, okay,
Yep. There, except it's easier to get the back off
because
of
faceplates. Right. Damn, I really wish it wasn't that hard to access because mine's busted. It won't read SD cards anymore, so I gotta send that in. I won't ramble on, but frustrating. Anyway, I guess it's gonna do it for that topic. Seems like we're leaning more towards DSi, yeah? In agreement about that?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
just because
Mhm.
there's not enough,
Exclusive stuff.
well, like, not a
Like-
huge enough upgrade.
Right.
Ask,
Yeah, it's
ask me again in 6 months if
Yeah.
they've announced a bunch of exclusives.
Yeah, because
Like if the next Pokemon game is going to be exclusive to the
oh
new
boy,
3DS.
yeah, that would sell. That would
if
sell
that
fast.
happens, then
There
I'd
you go.
probably lean closer to Game Boy Color.
We shall see. We've got a bunch of quality questions this week from one person, Arms.
No, there's a
Uh,
couple from
Okay,
others.
okay, mostly Arms, but yeah, there are others. I won't lie about that. First off, who's your favorite senpai from the Not So Wonderful 101, which is a terrible username, by the way. Who wants to answer?
Cal.
Kelly.
Cal.
Kelly. Combine them. All right. Yeah, that's a good answer. Jackson, do you have a favorite senpai?
I'm not even sure what senpai is. I'm pretty sure it's an anime thing, right?
It's general Japanese culture. It's just
I'm not too familiar with Japanese culture stuff.
That's cool.
it's just someone
With-
like more experienced, not more, like in
you
school
would
they're the
look up to,
person
yeah.
above in like any grade above you. In a workplace there's someone who's been working there longer than you. Just like someone who has more experience in that specific area you're in.
Oh, okay. See, now I learned something. And all you viewers out there who never knew what a senpai was, there you
Learned
go.
it too. Yeah. Learning every day on Nintendo Unleashed, or every week. Another question from the same person under a different account. What's your favorite JRPG? Please explain why. I am not big on JRPGs, but my most recent one and the one I've enjoyed the most is Xenoblade Chronicles.
It's not a JRPG.
Is it
Yeah,
not?
it is.
It's
It is.
action.
I looked it
Mo-
up before the podcast.
Yeah, Monolith is Japan.
Yeah, I thought JRPG needed to be turn-based, not action.
That's hard to say. I don't know.
I looked it up on Wikipedia because they're so reliable that it is a JRPG.
Ooh, all right, let's trust Wikipedia.
Because
go
that
with
is
that.
also my favorite because
Yeah.
it's the only one I think I've played.
I'm with you there.
So
You guys just lied.
How'd we lie?
Well, I know for a fact that Jackson's played Pokemon.
oh, that's true.
Does
Pokemon.
that count?
It's
All right.
it's a Japanese RPG.
All right.
Okay, well, then
Noah's
I
played
may have
Paper
to go for-
Mario. I'm not sure about
I have.
Jackson. That's a JRPG besides Super.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm learning again the definition of JRPG. So I probably have to go Pokemon then because I played Pokemon since I was like
Fair
4
enough.
years old.
If I can be specific, Heart Gold and Soul Silver mean a lot to me. So I guess Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And explain why, because they're damn good.
I'd have to go Pokemon Yellow because, I mean, that was the first Pokemon game I ever had, and I was in, like, the first grade. So,
Emerald for a similar reason as Jackson, except I was older.
yeah.
Next question. Are you worried about the possibility of Nintendo ever becoming a mobile exclusive? That's from Jay. I don't think so. A main reason being because they sort of reassured us about that when they sort of announced all their mobile stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they said,
Yeah.
we're not switching to mobile. Here's the NX.
And
So I
none of Nintendo studios are even doing stuff on mobile.
right.
Yeah,
So
DNA.
I feel confident that home consoles for Nintendo are safe.
Yeah, and so far, they're not, I'm not even sure if they're going to have any mobile exclusives. Like, they're bringing Pokemon Shuffle over, but that's not really a mobile exclusive because it's also on 3DS.
DNA is working on exclusive stuff, but
So they are working on exclusive stuff?
yeah,
Okay.
but
I didn't.
it's
wasn't
not
entirely sure.
affecting any 3DS
But
or Wii U or NX stuff.
I highly, highly doubt that they will ever just become just mobile, because I don't even know if it would be worth their time. Because
Yeah, with how saturated that market is and some other factors. Well,
because the thing about the mobile device, anybody can make a game for that, but
yeah.
only Nintendo can release games on their consoles, and you can play it on your TV. So
So it adds more value to the console as well.
I'm not worried about it, not because I don't doubt it. I mean, I do doubt it, but that's not why. I'm not worried because the reason I don't like mobile, or a lot of mobile games, is the forced microtransaction stuff. But if they make a game like, say, Love Live, I've yet to want to pay. Well, I have wanted to pay, but yet to really feel like I needed to pay. And I mean, I have, I think, like 20 Love Gems just stored. I haven't used them yet. So I could, you get them, like a ton of them without even paying. So if I'd see if Nintendo was going to make a mobile game, they'd probably be similar to that. And if they are, I'm not too worried.
yeah, I mean, like Pokemon Shuffle, you can pay, but you don't have to. I mean, I've played some of it, and it's pretty fun. I mean, sometimes you have to wait, but worth the wait.
Just like Half-Life 3. Next question. From the Connor said this was from the Food Wars account.
Yeah, the official Food Wars anime Twitter account.
I guess this one's pretty much directed at Connor. Why do you guys have such good anime taste? Well, I sure as hell don't. Connor?
It's also directed at Arms because he watches
Okay,
Food Wars.
Yeah.
I'd say because Food Wars is such good anime.
Listen to our podcast, Food Wars. It's good.
I've only watched one anime, and it is Pokemon, and it is horrible now, so I have horrible taste.
Well, nowadays Pokemon's not as bad, I've heard.
Really? I haven't watched X.
From what I've heard from people who like the original, it's better, still not as good.
I watched the beginning. The beginning was good, but then it kind of went the same route as the rest of them. But maybe it's gotten better. I don't know.
I haven't watched. I just heard, like, Kanto, really good. Johto, similar level, maybe a little lower. Hoenn, going downhill. Sinnoh, bad. Unova, really bad.
Yeah. It was after Hoenn.
Kalos, getting back to maybe Hoenn level. That's from what I heard.
Well, that's definitely not bad. I didn't think Hoenn was that bad, but it's definitely a lot worse than the original.
Hoenn was the only one I really watched.
So
I don't feel I can make a good review of the anime.
Yeah. Maybe I should make a video on that. Oh, whatever.
Anyway, next up, what did you guys think of Ant-Man from Anonymous Ant? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm seeing it this weekend. So there's my answer. You guys?
Have you seen it yet, Connor?
No, I don't like superhero movies.
Who are you? Get out. Just leave. It's in this day and age, you cannot love superhero movies. I mean, I went and saw it last night. I've seen it. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Superhero anime is better.
But yeah, it's easily one of the best movies Marvel's put out. I can say
Awesome.
that.
I'm hyped. No spoilers, though.
He's an ant.
Yep. Ooh, wow. Plot
Oh
revealed.
my god, such spoilers. The movie's ruined for you now.
He got bit by a radioactive ant.
Oh, no. I can't even go now. I just know the entire story.
Wrong insect superhero there.
Darn.
Yeah. Next, also Marvel-related question. I wonder who this one's from. What's your favorite Marvel movie from Anonymous Falcon? For me, that'd have to be Guardians of the Galaxy, just because I love how it didn't take itself too seriously, and it had fun with the characters and the environments and the music, and just such an awesome movie. I could watch it over and over again.
Well,
Jackson?
I can say if you love Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll definitely like Ant-Man. That movie is
Oh, good.
hilarious,
Good, good,
and
good.
and it's really light.
Yeah.
But my favorite has to go to Avengers: Age of Ultron. I just love that movie so much.
Mm,
Ant-Man's easily my favorite solo movie, but
got
as
it.
far as the Avengers or any of them, it's definitely Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Sweet.
I'm gonna have to be legit here and give the one that I actually remember, Iron Man.
All right. The original?
That's a great one.
Yeah,
So,
I think it wasn't one of the sequels. I know it was an
Got
original.
it.
I don't know if they've been remade or something. If they have, then
No.
it's the most recent
Yep.
first
Just,
one.
just Iron Man. Got it.
starting okay.
Good picks all around. Next from Anonymous Connor. Are you too sexy for your shirt?
Thanks, Arms.
Absolutely. You guys, are you too sexy for your shirts?
It's not wearing any clothing right now.
Oh, well, there you go. Good to know. Jackson, are you too sexy for your shirt? Yes or no? Or no clothes?
Yeah, I took. I'm wearing clothes. I just don't have a shirt on. So
Got it. Okay, so currently impossible. I'm going to go with a yes for this time. Next question from Anonymous Squid. Inkling boy or Inkling girl? Inkling girl all the way. You guys?
Girl.
Inkling girl. I mean, you can totally tell by my voice that I am an Inkling girl.
I just don't like
Absolutely.
the boy's hair.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a little ponytail, something. And last but not least, what did you guys think of Food Wars episode 15? Well, I'm going to start the series this weekend, so I can't talk about it yet.
I appreciated the episode. Don't appreciate how apparently they're skipping the kindergarten arc. Don't appreciate how they switched the opening and ending like many anime do, but both of them are far worse than the original, especially Sugar and Spice is one of the best ending songs in any anime ever. But overall, still pretty good episode.
Nice, not bad. How would you rate it out of 10? though?
7.5.
Alrighty,
Not bad.
good job. Last, our plugs. Connor can go through these because they're all anime.
So, last week I was trying to save arms because Food Wars didn't air last week. So I plugged School Live. So we'll continue that School Live too. There's no twist this week, but still really interesting going into backstory of one of the characters. And more Yuki not understanding she's in a zombie apocalypse, but whatever. Then
Please understand.
Food Wars episode 15. Already reviewed that for a previous
7.5,
question.
yep.
But yeah, both of those are on Crunchyroll. We're still not sponsored by Crunchyroll. Both are up, or School Live is uploaded Thursdays at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Food Wars is uploaded Fridays at 12:25 Pacific time. We never actually give times, but thought that was necessary this week. And the thing that I plugged last week, but then didn't go up for like 4 days after, so might as well replug it. The Ame no Magrinal review, or Rain's Magrinal visual novel that I reviewed. Go read it.
Yay. Congratulations. That was our last plug.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as subscribe and rate on iTunes. Visit and like us on Facebook. That's BlazeKick Media. Follow us on Twitter, BlazeKick Tweet. Follow us three on Twitter. I'm at
Yep.
Double31.
I'm at Dashy007.
And I'm at Wolfstorm LP.
And make sure to visit blazekick.com for all your non-Xbox podcast related stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Go Team Roller Coasters.
Hey Noah,
Yeah, what's up?
you know it'd be funny
What would be really funny, Connor?
if we realized like 10 minutes after we finished recording the podcast that there were no mess ups or anything, so we didn't have a blooper. So then we were like sitting here thinking if we should fake a blooper or not,
Yeah, or if we accidentally kept recording after we were done the podcast.
and Jackson left.
Yeah, and we're looking for music to do for the credits, and yeah.
And it's like do 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 do.
Beep bop beep bop beep beep bop beep bop beep bop bop.
That was so sexy. I'm so wet right now.
Oh my meow!